Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for April 11th through the 17th of 2021. There's a note from Kelly here to start with. So okay y'all, this week is going to be intense, one way or another. There's a lot to cover, and this update is a little longer than most, so grab some tea and your journal and prepare for a personal check-in with this one. The personal planets in Aries are in a growth position with Pluto, the transformer, but there are also these blessings and opportunities woven in as well. So I don't want you to get too caught up in what's ending or leaving your life. Right now, we are basking in the clean slate energy of Aries, so give yourself the gift of renewal at this time and tap into the literal balance that is available. There's also this delicious combined energies of Mercury and Aries, Mars in Gemini, and Jupiter in Aquarius. So even as we are transforming from the inside out, we are also being nudged by this crew to expand the vision of what we believe is actually possible for ourselves, each other, or the planet. But take from it what works for you and circle back to the rest when you need to. Since this is such a rich, complex week of activations, and it is all personal, I should add. Speaking of which, this has been an interesting time to review. Now, I realize reviewing is not for everyone, but it is for my trackers. Those of you who keep a calendar or journal or have over the last year at least are going to love this review. It will validate all that you have already accomplished, and it will remind you of inspirations you've probably forgotten about. I was curious about what I was talking about 1 year ago, last spring 2020, when COVID shut down the US. What I found was very inspirational and conversational for those of you who like podcasts. This is great. If you prefer bullets and bottom line, then they may be a little too long for you. These are both good reference points that will take you back to last spring. This was March 17th and March 31st of 2020, but also help you recognize the evolution you have undergone during this same 1 year period. We have all evolved over the last year in a way that used to take lifetimes to grow and evolve this much. We did it in a year. And these two videos, which were a lot of fun, and they were live with me in person, so for those of you who like to see my face, these were our fun weekly Instagram lives that we did together. The first one is Rebuild, Rebirth, and Restabilize, a 94-minute video here linked in the blog, which flew by like it was 30 minutes when I watched it. And there are divinations that were so relevant for now, so enjoy. This other one, Initiations and Amplified Power, is also 98 minutes in the same ballpark. Did drag periodically, but every time that happened, it would get interesting again, especially with the divinations. Both of these were a weekly Instagram I did with Basmati.com and a friend, colleague, Margie, where we were on camera live discussing the energies and doing divinations. We had a blast every week, and we probably will circle back in some way, I'm sure, in divine time and order. Perhaps more importantly, what prompted the whole review thing was that it is a really good time to review my 2021 overview along with my special alignments, because these two will also remind you of what you have already been through and come out the other side, as well as remind you of the upcoming activations we will be navigating later in the year. Well worth the review. So let's dive into this very important transformative week of activations that we are facing now, this week. It kicks off on Sunday the 11th, April 11th, Venus squaring Pluto on the same day as our Aries New Moon. So very powerful seeds to go into our new moon intentions. With Venus and Pluto, this activation brings intensity, and it challenges you to grow out of comfort zone into new territory where your relationships and finances are concerned. It creates very intense emotional responses and experiences with others that tend to trigger insecurities or hidden fears in one or both of you. Stability is not really part of the equation at the moment, so prepare for inevitable change. You've probably already felt it coming, the shift in your relationship or financial situation. Well, it's here now. So you can be proactive on your own behalf, or you can suffer the consequences of postponing the inevitable. You may have heard me say, pay now or pay double later. That applies to this transit too. The natural reaction may be to try to hold on to the job or relationship, but try not to give in to that temptation. Pluto intensifies everything, and the more you resist the necessary purification and change that Pluto brings, the more painful it usually is. It is better to clarify your values and priorities and choose change rather than have it forced upon you. Either way, once the dust settles, you should be better off because things either change for the better or go away altogether, making room for something new and more in alignment with your values and priorities of now. Okay, deep breath. So that goes for relationships, jobs, certain agreements and contracts, and it's deep. It's a changing time. And part of it is because of the new Aries energy that's awakening within all of us. This clean slate new beginning that we have access to, let's say, every spring. So same day Sunday, our Aries New Moon, this is an annual initiation of the new you, the new year, and a brand new beginning that is available for all those who choose the new and leave the old or past behind, while bravely stepping into the unknown. The Libra full moon from March 28th may have revealed where more internal balance is required for you to truly anchor this emerging identity. It may have also revealed where more external balance is required for you to maintain relationships or agreements with others, or not. Like I said, some things have run their course, so let's be okay with that. Most likely, some of both will manifest. This is an annual opportunity to release imbalances within ourselves and our relationships or environment. Anything that is preventing the Aries new beginning from unfolding naturally. The Capricorn last quarter moon, April 4th, illuminated what you personally are responsible for at this time and where being organized is helpful. You are on completely new ground now, and the Aries new moon launches us all to the next level. Consider how much has been cleared and released just in the last year alone. This first seed point is vital to the next 6 to 12 months of growth and expansion. It is truly time to close out and release anything no longer essential to your reality or evolution. The message is don't rush and neither postpone. This is the week to dedicate yourself to taking responsibility for whatever you have chosen to create, then consciously prepare to go for it in the very near future. Any residual imbalances can be released with the Scorpio super full moon coming up April 26th. This month's lunation sets us up for some very new territory, so stay alert and present, especially when navigating the world or negotiating with others. Okay, deep breath. So looking back 1 year ago to the last Aries new moon, which was exactly the time frame it was happening that those other recordings were made, I mentioned above, so useful. And I would say, again, for people who love podcasts or like listening to things, or 90 minutes doesn't seem long to you, or you're cleaning the house or have a long drive ahead or something like that where an audio would be useful, man, those two were pretty enlightening. Then on the 12th, which is Monday, Juno retrogrades in Sagittarius until August 2nd. So that's pretty much 4 months with Juno backwards. This may be minor to others, but I think this is a good one to consciously co-create with. Juno rules how we partner, whether it is relationships, collaborations, or simply working with others in our everyday worlds. It takes her 4 to 5 years to move through Aries to Pisces. And so the last time she was in Sagittarius was the end of 2016, beginning of 2017. Reflecting on your relationships, partnerships, and collaborations of that time may inform you at this time while she lingers in Sag and stirs it up in there. This influence now tells us that it is time to have meaning and truth in our exchanges. We don't have to agree to love each other, but we definitely need some common ground. Otherwise, why partner up in the first place? Use the next 4 months to review the conscious equal partnerships in your life and look for where you can improve them. This is a great support for working on a shared vision with a partner or group. Okay? Deep breath. On the 13th, which is Tuesday, we have Sun sextiling Mars. This is an excellent time for action. You may have some good positive energy brewing that, if it does not find an outlet, could turn negative or destructive. So do something, get moving, take action. Work on accomplishing some long sought after goals, physical, spiritual, emotional, mental, or material. The universe supports action at this time. Call in help from other like minded souls, reach out, share this energy, and see where it leads. During this kind of energy, you could secure a stronger position, and if you have to fight for something, you will do so more effectively with this energetic support. So basically, it's the sun illuminating, lighting things up, making things easy, with Mars action and choices, and a sextile is an opportunity. So if we work the energy, it can be this way. But a sextile is also that kind of energy that if we don't work it, it could pass us by very easily and quickly. The sun moves daily. Then on the 14th, which is Wednesday, Venus will enter Taurus until May 8th. Venus in its home sign of Taurus brings our attention to the body, pleasure, sensuality, the experience of being in a body, and all the possibilities inherent in that. It draws our attention to Mother Earth and the garden, or rare blue gem that she is, and how much we need to value that as sacred and precious. It is also time to double down on clarifying your own values and priorities in real time. When she is in Libra, she is equally powerful, but she is also more focused on the essence or invisible link of kinship that we share with all life. It is an idea or an ideal. But when she is in Taurus, it is more the reality that we are experiencing in our bodies. Where is the feast or famine in your life in general? Let's address any famines or neglect of essential parts of our nature, which is finding the body to be a pleasurable experience versus one of pain, fear, or frustration. It's time to cultivate your life like a garden, where you plant a diverse number of plants that produce food or flowers. That would be the substance you take into your body, as well as the beauty you radiate out from your heart center. This is a great time to reconnect with what gives you a sense of belonging and fulfillment, nourishment, and pleasure. Yeah, Venus in Taurus is pretty juicy for cultivating and creating something you love and beautifying your being or your environment, all of that. Really good, juicy for the next couple weeks. Then on the 15th, which is Thursday, Sun will sextile Jupiter. This energy is sometimes considered quote unquote lucky, but the success you achieve under this influence is more likely due to a positive outlook and clear vision of who you are and what you want. Your life is expanding, your self-understanding is deepening, and it will be easier to be around other people of higher consciousness, improving things and creating opportunities that benefit a larger number of people. There is a healthy dose of optimism around some grand plan, and things are moving, but make sure to do the foundation work to support this larger vision as it manifests in reality. If you are a teacher, guide, leader of any sort, this energy supports your group efforts, so giving workshops, seminars, or doing classes is totally supported and will benefit you while serving others. Deep breath. So yes, this is an expansion of our consciousness when the Sun and Jupiter get together, and a time where we can improve ourselves on an individual level. Again, these are all the personal planets interacting with the social and collective planets this week. So really keep that in mind. And my thing about Aries, and especially the Aries New Moon, it's all about you, the individual. Stay focused there, who you are and what you want. And then we'll branch out into what you want to do with that and with other people. This week is very personal. That's why I said at the beginning, I knew this was going to be a long one, but if you're really working on yourself, you need to be tracking these a little bit so that you can at least set your intentions. We can't always know for sure how these things are going to manifest in our lives, but if we know the energies going on, we can set the intention. So for example, our next one is sometimes a challenging one, but it's also something annual that we go through every year. So you should be used to this by now. And Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2008. It will be there until 2024. So we're looking at a 16-year annual process of renewal and transformation, and this individual to the collective piece, where we are being changed and affected by the social collective, whether we want to be or not. So this is a challenge to grow out of your comfort zone and into new territory. That said, with Pluto in Capricorn 2008 to 2024, twice a year for these 16 years, when the Sun is in Aries in the spring and Libra in the fall, we get an opportunity to grow and change in fundamental departments of life. That is self versus other and home versus work. The very basics we all got to deal with. In this case, and during these years, we are literally changing how we do all of this. Each year builds on the previous, and we are now 13 years into a 16-year process of transformation. It is here that you have the most information to consciously work with as you prepare for the next 3 years, and ultimately what you would like to get out of your conscious efforts and dedication. Sun helps us clarify, and when working with Pluto, it is usually what is not working, what has run its course and is ready to be composted into new life, new growth, and a new direction for self. Pluto is the purifier, distilling things back to their true and original essence. Fight that and it can be painful. Work with it consciously and it can be transformative and will heal at the deepest root of any challenge. You can use this activation to honor that which has become obvious or is highlighted in the here and now and purge or purify this energy. You are deeply supported for releasing old patterns and setting new conscious practices into action. Tie up loose ends, close multiple chapters, mourn and move on. As you do that, you will feel lighter and brighter and more grounded in your true self, your evolved self. Deep breath. We've come a long way, y'all. 13 of 16 years with Capricorn to Aries Libra challenges of growth and all that. It's powerful. Then on the 17th, which is Saturday, we have 4 activations in one day. Mars and 3 Mercuries. Mercury's going to link up with Mars, Jupiter, and Pluto. That's a lot. So it starts with Mars trining Jupiter. This is actually a really good one. Generally positive as you're combining your energy and desires with an expansion of consciousness. It's especially good for anything physical and bodes well for outcomes to any competition. You will be channeling more energy than usual, so be sure to check in with your body and stay grounded. Jupiter often brings blessings that others may perceive as quote-unquote luck, but it is more of an alignment between the inner and outer. Even if things are hazy or crazy, do your best to visualize success and put yourself in the picture. You will have a great overall perspective of the big picture and can plan accordingly with this energy. The only caveat with this energy is to avoid being overly confident where you feel invincible. Be confident, but not cocky. This energy is good for knowing what you need and being capable of making succinct decisions about the course which will get you there. Calculated risks are the name of the game. Deep breath. Same day, Mercury sextiles Jupiter. So this is kind of lower mind to higher mind, your individual mind and your consciousness. Where the above Sun sextile Jupiter is more about you, this activation is more about your consciousness, ideas, thoughts, and concepts, which Jupiter expands in some way, helping you to think bigger, edit your personal story, and step up your game in some kind of way. This is also a great energy to work with if you are in school, learning something new, expanding your knowledge base, or gathering new tools and information to support your goals. Your dreams are tapping you on the shoulder, demanding some attention. Mundane issues are not your concern right now. You will want to figure out how to create the life you've been imagining. And this energy also provokes within you the awareness and understanding that being generous naturally attracts generosity to you. The big picture and overall patterns which have led you to this point are being brought into the light. Feeling clear, sharp, alert, and optimistic, you begin to realize that anything you can imagine, or in our case, remember, you can achieve. Deep breath. So yes, this is think positive alignment with Mercury sextiling Jupiter for sure. Then it's going to sextile Mars. So we're going to look at this. This is interesting. First, we have all this transformation work for sure. This seed planting and initiation. But then it shifts to your choices and action in a good alignment with your consciousness, right? But then it goes even deeper where Mercury wants to expand the consciousness even more. Look at the variety of ideas and possibilities that could go any kind of way. But then ultimately, the last one is Mercury to Pluto, where we have to change something in our thinking as well. So, we can take them one by one, but also think about them as a whole and what this week is weaving in your evolution. The things that it's awakening or touching on or activating. That's why we call them activations, right? So this next one, Mercury sextile Mars, is the healthy selfish energy, also known as self-preservation. Do not hold back this week. If you have a big dream or a serious goal that you have been working toward, then this is the time that may attract the assistance you need from the universe. This is definitely a work energy, right? Quote unquote work. However, it brings with it the caveat that it is best if you work alone on something important to you. No one else is or ever will be as dedicated to your goal as you will be, nor should you expect them to be. You are now connected to the extra energy it takes to push your goals to the next level, bringing you a sense of accomplishment while outlining the next tasks to be done. Opportunities present themselves all the time. All you have to do is be ready. If you are given the opportunity to make a presentation, then go for it. Your clarity, energy, and enthusiasm will be unmatched, and that's what people respond to. Don't choose this time to be shy or doubt that you're ready. You are definitely ready. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. One of my favorite sayings is, at the moment of commitment, the universe conspires to assist you. It's time to decide if you are committed and how truly committed you are to your own success. Deep breath. Yeah, Mercury to Mars is all personal, right? But then it goes Mercury to Pluto, and it's you and the collective. So this energy is a tough yet powerful one. Its highest expression would be to focus on your inner deep dig, what I call discovery and development. It enables you to look beneath the surface to some core drives and gain some valuable insights, and thus choose a plan of action based on your findings. You will want to know all the hidden meanings behind decisions you've made or want to make soon. Dig. You may find more than you think you are ready for, but apparently the universe thinks differently. So pay attention and try not to worry about what anyone else thinks or believes. This energy's flip side is to make you obsess over one particular idea and try to force others to your way of thinking. That is a bottomless pit. You cannot truly change the way other people think. You can only change the way you think and hope it enlightens others along the way. And it will, for those who are tuned into your level or your frequency. So try to only focus on you and your direction. Yeah, this week it's all about you. That's why whenever you get to this forecast, even if it's after the fact and you're circling back to catch up with the Aries New Moon or whatever, it's still going to be good for this month of Aries and into Taurus, because then we start to really have to stand on our values of this new identity, purpose, and passion that's being activated this spring. 1 year after having the rug pulled out from under us and being forced into many changes, it's a good time to check in where you're at. How's it going? What have you gained? We can always list the things we've lost, but what have you gained over the last year? What space did the losses clear for you that actually turned out to be positive and made your life better, made your life work better, made your life energy flow better, maybe made your resources even flow better, right? So we've all had to rethink our values and priorities, and it's not like that doesn't happen all the time. Venus is always kicking and moving, but it's the combo of some of these big, rare alignments that happened in 2020 and that are happening in 2021 that are very special and particular to these 2 years. One of which is Saturn in Aquarius. It's only going to be there for 2.5 years before it moves into Pisces, and it's a whole new ball game. So we got to get Saturn's lesson, integrate everything we need, work out all that Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio stuff that Saturn in Aquarius and Uranus in Taurus are stirring up. It's micro to macro all the way across the board. So I hope my prayer and intention for the forecasts are always to just let you know the energy is available and how to best work with them, not to overwhelm you with this many activations. But this is what happens, y'all, and some of you might have picked up on it. There is a week or two in the year where we have absolutely no activations, and I can definitely testify that every time that happens, the following week has more than its fair share of activations. So it's just like most of the time it's an average of, let's say, 3 to 6 activations is kind of normal, but this is a lot. This is a lot in all in one week, and it's all very personal. So take your time outs when and where needed during this Aries lunation as we segue into the Taurus lunation and welcome spring and the 3 high moons and these super full moons, because we're also moving towards some eclipses, and you want to do as much as you can to be grounded and anchored in your truth and your reality as possible, because when the eclipses come, we can't help the shakeups that happen with them. But if you are grounded, like we talked about, and clear about who you are and what you want, then the changes can be for the better. They can really break to realign things that shortcut you to your next level in a way that's not always possible, and that is kind of magical about eclipses specifically. And during the Gemini Sag eclipses that we're getting ready to deal with, Mercury is going to retrograde in Gemini, and Jupiter will have entered Pisces and is going to retrograde in the same week in Pisces with Neptune. So it's like consciousness, your belief system, your spirituality, all getting rewired. What you believe to be true or possible, it's huge. And then the break to realign with Gemini Sag is always about our consciousness and our evolution in the social collective realm specifically. Like that's what Gemini Sag is all about. It's learning from other cultures. It's being sociable creatures. It's having to express something new each year, that we evolve and learn and grow in our consciousness. It's the eternal student and teacher that we are, just being here on planet Earth. It's juicy. It's a juicy area, but it's an intense area to be right now because we have all these other, like I said, rare alignments that are also upgrading the social collective realm. So as an individual, we have to navigate as best we can. And that's when we have to dial it back in and take these activations kind of one at a time. If you want to work on your relationships, you dial that in. If you're working on Mercury in your mind and your consciousness, then dial that in. If you're working on your own emotional default settings and what's best for you, the individual, then you work with the lunar rhythms. So there's a little bit this week that covers all of that. You can dial it in any way you need to and customize it for yourself. But know that these energies support you in your evolution, and it's happening whether you can clearly identify or articulate or not, right? It's underway. So what you want to do is just be willing and open and receptive to the good, to the nourishing, to the strengthening and fortifying, and keeping really good boundaries against the draining and the toxic and the delirious and delusional and distracting. Let's keep our really good boundaries right now, because Aries is the infant. This is the infant stages of spring. We're just beginning to wake up from a whole year of unbelievable transformation, right? We're choosing what we're going to cultivate for the year of 2021, which is a completely different vibration, by the way, people. Many planets moved and shifted between 2020 and 2021, altering what we have access to, let's say, or the alchemical mix that's available. So really tune in to your own vibration and elements and where you're at in your own cycles, and look for these activations in the sky to support that. Work them for what they're good for in your own individual lives, and use this springtime to tune into your individual life and kind of withdraw your complicity or involvement with outer world things just for a minute. You can go back out. When we hit Gemini, that is the time to go back out, even though it will be eclipses and Mercury retrograde. It might make us more sociable. We don't know. But Aries Taurus, very personal. Go inward for now and really try to clarify who you are and what you want and what your values and priorities are, so that you can set things up to nourish that, right? So before I start off-roading again, when I've already given you a whole lot of goodies and extras and things to listen to and watch, if you're into videos, that's great. My 2021 overview and special alignments has an audio, video, and the post where you can read it if you prefer. It's available either way. And of course, reach out if you need to. I did my first Venus circle from my new space here. I did the first one outside by the fire, but this one was the first time I did it indoors. And I set up my whole room the way I used to do it. So it's been a really great rebirthing period here. And thank you all for your notes and well wishes and support along the way. And I will talk to you soon. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off. Be well.